Hey guys, so here's the training from last night. It's about sleep, and you know how important sleep is. What you should do by now, hopefully. Excuse me. Conventional wisdom, we're looking at 7 to 9 hours a night. Sleep study here is most Britons sleep less than 7 to 8 hours conventional, unlike 7 to 9 really. And most fall into the 5 to 6 hour brackets, and that's not just the amount of hours, but the quality of their sleep also. So it's really important we get on top of this. So what's to blame for sleep loss? Number one, stress, biggest culprit. It's half of Britons saying stress away keeps them awake at night, and it's about 47%. If you are stressed, you are in a fight or flight scenario. When your blood pressure's up, you've got cortisol, and you have got adrenaline pumping around the system. Very difficult to get unless you can relax and calm down and switch it off. So stress is a big killer. And melatonin, the hormone that really helps us sleep and tends to peak when we are winding down, is very, very low. So we've got to work out ways of controlling stress. 2, sensory overload. You guys know this. We live in a world of sensory overload, iPhones, iPads, Android, computers, Netflix, you name it. And it's a light that affects our circadian rhythm. We're supposed to sleep with the night. When it gets light, we get up. When it gets dark, we go to bed. Obviously, you don't go to bed at 5 o'clock, but you kind of get my drift. And when you sat there looking at a phone or a TV screen at 11 o'clock at night, it's very difficult for your brain to switch off. Then there's things like noise pollution. And then there's a big one, night temperature. If your room is very hot and got central heating on, it's also difficult to get sleep. There's a good hack on that. You can just turn the central heating off, open the window, have a hot shower, hot bath before you go to bed. And when the body cools down quickly, you tend to go to sleep. And you go into REM sleep as well. Mindset. We live in a society and everyone tells us we've got to be hustling and getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be successful. I mean, the only thing that's going to happen if you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning but get to try and work is going to be burnt out and knackered. So read this. And like I said last night on the call, read this guide and take it on board and implement it. It's no good me giving you information if you don't take action upon it. Okay? Very, very few people need less than a steady 6 hours sleep a night. I'm saying 7 to 9. 9 is a sweet spot for me. I try and go with 6. I'm just all over the place. Part 1, impact of sleep, physical health. Obviously, we spoke this before. Too much cortisol, adrenaline is going to mess your ghrelin, your hunger hormone up. Also reduce the level of leptin, which keeps you full up. And scientific studies conducted by the Mayo Clinic found that people getting 5 or less hours sleep a night were, guess what, 73% more likely to be overweight. Another study by Barclay showed that for every hour of sleep lost, 2.1 points were gained on the individual's BMI over time. So weight gain, you want to lose weight, sleep more. Simple one. Information. People are suffering more from immune system related diseases, and that is also related to lack of sleep. The immune system you want especially strong, especially now, things like COVID and flu season and bugs and colds. Massive. If you're a clever person like you are, and you're a business person, etc., if you don't get enough sleep, your brain will struggle. It's one of the biggest effects on the brain. It does kind of shrink. You get a build of toxins in the brain because your lymphatic system, our brain's drainage system, clears toxins out. And if you don't get enough sleep, this lymphatic system is not working effectively. Microsleeps, these are bad things that can happen, like if you fall asleep on the job. If you're a driver, then it's an absolute disaster, you know. But also things like in the office, in a workplace, or using tools, etc. You don't want to be falling asleep on the job. Loss of sex drive is a massive one. Libido gets lowered when you don't get enough sleep. Mental health, irritability, moodiness, stress, depression, anxiety. I definitely suffer with the 2 last ones when I don't get enough sleep. In fact, all of them. So sleep is like a non-negotiable for me, and it should be for you. You've got to try and work out a way to do it, and we've got like a plan here also. Part 2, how to get a better night's sleep. Create a sanctuary. And I spoke about a book. I think it was on Blinkist. I listened to it. It was quite an interesting book about willpower doesn't work, and it's about a very clever writer. I can't remember her name now, who decided that she was trying to work in a home and live in a home and party in a home, and it just one space to do everything is not right. So she had a flat in Las Vegas, all places, and a workplace in Portland, Oregon. So the workplace is purely for work, and Las Vegas is purely for chill out, relax, party. And it's like this: you need to create a sanctuary. The bedroom needs to be a place where there's no TVs, no smartphones, anything that affects your sleep should be turned off. Don't eat or drink in bed. Invest in a decent mattress, one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and change your bedding weekly. Make sure your room is not too hot. As I said, if your temperature in your body drops quickly during the night, you'll fall asleep quicker. If you've got a hot room, you're going to struggle. Keep it dark. Circadian rhythm again. This is how we're supposed to live. Get a blackout blind. Regular bedtimes and a sleep schedule is super, super important. What we do during the week is we go to bed at sensible times. We don't drink alcohol. The weekend comes along and the wheels fall off the bus and we stay out all night and stay out till late. Try and get into a rhythm that you stay with consistently throughout the week, and it stays the same at the weekends. Place pre-sleep ritual. This is really, really important. Start by eating a light dinner before bed, 3 hours, get your digestive system to work. For weight loss, don't worry about it too much, because if you get all your calories just before you went to bed, it wouldn't really matter if you're losing weight. But for obviously the quality of sleep, we want to eat light food. Do some light fun activities, stretch, read a book, do some mobility work, do some yoga, take a warm bath, a shower, and then dim the lights and start to get into that melatonin secretion phase. I've talked about this one many times. Have a notepad by your bed, write some notes down, 15 minutes, write down any worries, potential solutions, a list of what you could do the next day to solve them. This will help you massively. Finally, all digital devices, I reckon an hour or two before bedtime. We've got 30 minutes here, just to give you a break. Stimulant effect, I know people that can drink coffee and sleep like a baby, but I'm not one of those people. I need to cut my coffee by maybe midday. I never have it in the afternoon. We've got tea, coffee, chocolate. I've got soda, but soda is obviously fizzy drinks. They've all got stimulants in them, and you want to try and avoid these after midday. Learn more about sleep cycles, because when you go to sleep, you get the sleepiness phase. When you're like thinking, oh, I'm feeling tired, then you get light sleep and you start to drop off, and you wake up suddenly, then you drop off again. Then gradually you go into deep sleep 1 and deep sleep 2, and this is the one where we want to be at 25%. And this is what your Fitbit, Apple Watch will tell you. And then we've got REM dreaming just before we wake up. That's rapid eye movement. That means you're coming into wake up phase. There are hacks around scheduling alarms for that. I'm not going to go into that now because it's too complex. It could be another training. White noise is a great one. I use an app. It's called Ambient Music Therapy. It's got like a white box on iTunes or Blue Cross. White noise, it really helps me get a peaceful sleep so I don't hear the noise outside. And it's usually rain and thunder, and that gets me in the groove. And you can also buy noise-cancelling headphones just to keep quiet if your partner snores or you've got noise outside. If you use an app and earphones, natural noise like rainfall and thunder are fantastic. Obviously, daily exercise. It's well known that exercise enhances the quality of sleep. No brainer. You need to be moving every day and walking, low-level cardio, maybe some faster walking or jogging if that's what you're doing. Daily naps. This is quite good. It's like a power nap, and like the Spanish do, and NASA pilots did this with 26-minute naps, and they made 34% fewer errors at work and doubled their alertness level. Take a nap in the afternoon if you can, in the car, in the office. It just depends on obviously your work schedule, where you work. And you can do a coffee nap where let's say you have a nap at 1 o'clock, you could drink a cup of coffee at 1, snooze, the caffeine kicks in about 20 minutes later, then you wake up and then you're good to go. And it's not that difficult. Crack down on cortisol, stress hormone. You've got to learn ways to manage it. And I talked about box breathing. There's an article about this I've got. Moderate exercise, becoming more aware of your thoughts, journaling, minimizing negative and stressful thinking. What's the worst outcome? Will it matter in 5 minutes, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? Probably not. Use things like yoga, massage, stretch. Do things that make you happy. Healthy relationships, spending time with those you love, and just getting toxic people away from you. And taking a healthy approach to your food. We're doing that anyway. There you have it. Quick training. I will put the link for this ebook with the training in the site. But you, like I say, you must action and implement what I say.